And we will have a very small welcome, Damien Cunningham. Sorry, let me get your name right. You're correct, Damien Cunningham. Sorry, CEO of Peoplewave. Please.
Getting a little ahead of ourselves. First of all, let me start off with an apology. I just flown in last night from Australia. I attended my brother's funeral, so I'm feeling a little raw and a little emotional, and that's the theme of what today's going to be. So I will keep, and this is also a sense of passion I have for our business. This note is important, this business is important, and what we're doing is important. So let me talk you through what we're going to do today. So I'm going to talk you through who we are as Peoplewave, what our purpose is, a little bit about our business and the products that we currently have in the market. I'm going to talk to you about Wavebase, which is our HR solution on the blockchain. I'm going to talk about our ICO, which starts tomorrow. We're listing on the Crypto Exchange. And obviously we'll have a few questions at the end. If we flip to the next slide. Wonderful. So, let me tell you a personal story. I've spent the last 25 years doing data, digital, and marketing, and I've held many high-profile positions. I've been the online director of Dell, managing $1.5 billion e-commerce P&L. I've worked at Samsung as the regional marketing director, chief marketing officer at Philips, and then my last job, about up until January 2017, was as the head of digital at Standard Chartered Bank. Until I was retrenched. Now I don't know if many of you have been laid off, retrenched, or been redundant previously, but I can tell you, it sucks. It's a terrible experience, and what I wanted to do was, after that experience, I realized that the performance review system, the way people manage each other, is fundamentally flawed. And what I realized is, for big companies and employees who work at those companies, work is not fair. Companies will screw you over, performance management is not well done. I can tell you from the Gallup survey results, 70% of employees, 7 out of 10 people in this room, are unhappy or disengaged in their jobs. I can pick some of those faces now. 80% of that dissatisfaction comes from their direct manager. No one ever trains your manager, no one gives them the right tools to manage employees, and that leads to a large amount of turnover in any organization. In fact, global turnover rates are about 20%. So 1 in 5 employees are changing jobs every single year. The cost of actually changing those employees is astronomical. It's well over $500 billion cost to business to change your employees every single year. If we work with a recruiter alone, it's generally about 25% of the person's annual salary to actually put a job ad out there, find a candidate, and bring them into a new company. Let alone the lost productivity, everything else that goes on there. So what I wanted to do was actually, I left my corporate career in digital data and marketing, and I was fired up to take what I saw in sales, marketing, and finance, companies that have gone through a digital transformation, and apply that to the laggard in the C-suite, the HR team. So our job is to make work fair. Our job is to put people first in people management. And how we are doing that at the moment is that we have introduced transparency and data-driven decision-making around managing people, which currently does not exist today. Go to the next slide, please. We are a real business. We are not one of those business plan ICOs. We're a business that's been operating, and we've been in business almost 2 years, operating for 1.5 years. We now have 21 employees. We've just added a chief strategy and people officer, as well as another developer in our tech hub in the Philippines. If you look over there, my experience, as I mentioned, is 25 years in digital and data. We have some senior leaders, so we've got Steve Walker, who runs our Australian operation. He's got 30 years sales experience. Yang Wai, who's come out of the Singapore public sector, who leads our product development. That's me, and you've got Phil next to me. And yes, we are look like we're about to drop the hottest album of 2018, we get that. But Phil's got over 25 years in IT and technology. Mickey's come to us from Wavebase Sands and Deloitte, who heads up our marketing, and Eugene's a bit of a crypto geek up the back there. So if you want to talk about deals, he's the man to speak to. And of course, we have an ever-growing team. We're currently 21 people now. We're planning on being well over 100 people by the end of this year. 12 countries today, Within a year, we'll be in 7. So we're a real business with over 400 customers today and significant revenue in the millions. Go to the next slide, please. We currently have 3 products in market. Now, these are traditional software as a service products. Now, again, remember, our goal is to make work fair. We have reinvented HR. First of all, we have a platform in the middle there. We have a tool called the first 100 days. We know that when people come into a new organization, 30% of new hires are looking for a job within 6 months. 46% of those people have left their new company within 18 months. It means almost half the people coming into a new company have left within 18 months. It's terrible. So we've launched a tool which is mobile first, called the first 100 days. It's a structured approach to onboarding. It's very data-driven. It focuses on the things that you need to do, the people you need to meet, and it also has data-driven performance reviews in month 1, 2, and 3. We've reinvented performance reviews, and we have a tool called Performance Wave. We have an algorithm that looks at the parts of performance that matter. Right now, I'm going to argue, if you don't, 42% of companies don't have a performance review process, or if they do, it's paper-based. If you're in a large company, that process is probably an annual review where you have maybe 5 goals and given a 1 to 5 rating, which has no correlation to how much money you get paid or whether you get a promotion. Whether you get a promotion is based on your likability and your relationships, which has nothing to do with your actual performance. In fact, most companies are incentivized to make you work hard as long as possible until you burn out and replace you with someone cheaper. Work is not fair. So, we researched an algorithm called the Formula of Performance. It's your relationships times your competencies times your delivery in a job that gives you a score every single month out of 100. We map how strong your relationships are, whether people like you or not, whether people trust you. You self-select your top 3 competencies, your hard skills. We also select whether you're meeting company values or whether you're meeting soft skills. And then, of course, we also look at whether you're actually meeting goals or objectives within your job. Again, this tool is being as over 400 customers have signed up and started using this tool. We're adding 1 to 7 customers every day. The good news about this is those 2 tools that are out in the market, we automatically take those tools and all the data we create and moving that to the blockchain. We have a third tool which is, I'm not going to get into AI, so let's not ask that question, but it's machine learning. It basically opens up all of your employee data within an organization. If you're a manager, who is your best employee? Who is your worst? Who are your high-performing teams? Why are they high-performing? Is one of your team members paid less than market? Do you know the likelihood to leave you within 6 months? Our HR Command Center tool answers all of those questions for large enterprises. It plugs into different software tools like Workday, Oracle, SuccessFactors, etc., and opens up employee data to the CEO, to the head of HR, and to line managers. So the first 2 tools are in market at the moment. We've spent 1.5 years building the third one, and it's coming soon. Move to the next slide, please. We realized with all this data we're collecting, on any particular individual, we collect over 19 data points. Your relationships, your hard and soft skills, your delivery in a job. Are you a manager or not? How many people do you manage? What's your gender for diversity reporting? We actually find that, and also importantly, what's your score out of 100 every month? Now this data is not collected today. Can any of you tell me your last performance review? And importantly, who owns that information? Do you own your performance information? No, you don't. So what we've done is taken a leaf out of what Facebook have done and done the opposite. We have taken our traditional software tools and we're moving all that data into the blockchain, into a solution we call Wavebase. Now, if we go to the next slide, Wavebase collects all of the data out of existing tools and other HR software platforms like Workday, SuccessFactors, and so on. And you can upload your own information if it's verified. What we then do is make that available for new purposes. Next slide, please.
The way companies measure employee performance is broken. Performance reviews are flawed and employees do not have a record of how well they did. Most employees work around it by listing their responsibilities on LinkedIn or a CV, but their critical information such as their relationship skills and performance ratings are lost forever. Until now, introducing Wavebase, Peoplewave's blockchain technology that unlocks the power of company and employee data. With Wavebase, individuals own their data. They can access their past and present performance data, even after they leave the company. For the first time ever, job applicants can securely share their previous experiences and performance data with future employers. Employers have access to verified employment records and performance data from Wavebase, providing unparalleled insights. Identifying candidates, doing background checks, hiring the best talent and managing their performance is revolutionized for the first time. So, how does it work? Meet Emily. Emily joined ABC Corp in 2005 and has worked for 4 companies in 12 years. All of Emily's performance data from the different companies will be uploaded into our blockchain technology, Wavebase, through an API. To ensure the integrity of the data, only companies and organizations are allowed to upload data into Wavebase. Should Emily decide to look for a new job next month, she can easily provide her potential employer access to all her past employment record and performance data by sharing her public key. The adoption of blockchain technology ensures that sensitive performance and employment information uploaded on Wavebase remains immutable and secure. Now companies can manage their teams well and hire with confidence. At Peoplewave, we are not just managing important employee performance information, we're building trust. Wavebase puts people first in people management.
Quick nifty video. Let's go to the next slide, please. So once we take all this data, and it's all focused around the performance data you have on the job, there's a number of very interesting things that can happen. My Wavebase is the consumer or the employee part of this, where you effectively have what would be a CV or a LinkedIn profile, which is all the chronological information next to your performance information. I worked at Standard Chartered Bank. I got a 1 out of 5 rating. I did really well at this. My strengths of my relationships were X. My competencies were Y. My overall score was 87.3. 53% of people lie on their CVs today. That information is unverified. It's not coming from current employers, and it's very difficult to prove that person is actually giving you the right information. And the information on there is not particularly relevant to the job that's being available. Culture fit, performance data, were they a manager or not? How many people did they manage? Who was their manager? All that information is not available today. On our My Wavebase solution, it becomes available. Second part of our solution is a recruitment solution called Recruitment. Imagine if you're looking for a blockchain developer in Singapore who's got 5 years of experience, who's very strong in their relationships, who's a very good communicator, who's managed 3 or more people and been rated 85 and above by their past employer. How do you find this person today? You don't. If you're looking for a blockchain developer, you're kind of screwed. Now, of course, what we're doing is almost a Google-like interface into our blockchain solution. So you'll get a stacked ranked list of people that meet your search criteria from the best person down to the number 100 person. Which is very, very interesting. We flip the recruitment model on its head. It's no longer put a job up out there and hope for the best. You can search verified, accurate performance data on the blockchain. And finally, background check. Maybe the less sexy part of what we're doing here. But again, if you call up a previous employer, you're usually calling up someone's friend or their mate, saying, yeah, you did a good job, 10 out of 10. Really? Or if you use a professional background check company, all they can verify are 3 data points. Did you work there? What was your job title? And your start and end date. That's it. So, we're going to revolutionize background checks by actually looking at their real data. How well did they do? Did they go down here? Why did they go? Did they have strong relationships? What was their skills, competency, and development like? It provides an unparalleled view of transparency around the data of the person on the job. And of course, the employee controls everything, so they can choose what to release or whether they want their data available to future employers. Go to the next one, please. The way we think about it, I think there's one more click there. Yes. Okay. So we have two sides of the equation, and people often ask us, why are you doing an ICO? Why do you need Peoplewave tokens? So our PWE tokens are the market economy between job seekers and companies. Think about the job seeker side. If you work in marketing, for example, and really, really want to work at Google, you have a Google t-shirt there. You work at Google? Oh, okay. Well, there goes my whole story. Come on. Okay, if you want to work at Google, which clearly you do, you generally would come back somewhere in the search results for a job that they're looking for. If you're a marketer, you're not guaranteed to be number 1 or number 500. Except if you spend Peoplewave tokens as an individual to make sure you're in the top 3 ranking. We're like the Google AdWords for recruitment, where individuals and job seekers can spend Peoplewave tokens on an auction-based system, depending on the popularity of that particular role. So if you're looking to become a marketing director at Google, you're going to spend a lot of tokens as a job seeker. If you're looking to be an admin assistant at the local F&B outlet, you probably have to spend 1 Peoplewave token or less. So from a job seeker perspective, you can now push your CV, your My Wavebase solution, your results at the very top of Google searching when they're looking for a particular person that suits your profile. On the other side of things, for companies, we regard ourselves a bit like the LinkedIn for recruitment. LinkedIn generally charges recruiters a very hefty monthly fee to actually have access to upload some jobs onto the LinkedIn platform and search for people based on keywords. So we're going to be offering companies the ability to do a one-off pay-per-use to actually search for a particular role. I'm looking for a marketing manager at my company, Google, and I'll get a list from 1 to 100 of the most qualified applicants based on my search results. Or maybe they're doing a background check. Maybe I've got a new hire about to join my company, and I'm going to do a background check on that particular individual after we've gone through the recruitment process. Companies will either pay for use or give us a set of tokens on a monthly subscription basis to have access to the Wavebase solution. So we're creating push and pull demand around the Peoplewave token from job seekers who get tokens for putting information onto the blockchain and spend tokens when they want to list themselves at the top of search results. On the other side of things, when companies, and recruitment is a $500 billion industry at the moment, are searching for individuals, they're getting qualified results with unparalleled accuracy and data. Moving to the next slide. I'll summarize this. We've been in operation since January 2017, 21 people at the moment in 4 countries. Over the next 6 months, we're using the ICO money as working capital to ensure that we can build our Wavebase solution and then quickly scale it. We're using that money for Oracle at the moment to try to get their data and apply that to our Wavebase solution. I'm not promising we're going to get those MOUs, but we're getting a series of MOUs with people in the industry and some software players over the coming months. That's going to equate to a series of users. Now we believe by next year we're going to get over 500,000 users. Within 2 years we'll be at least 5 million. We're hoping those are very conservative numbers. We won't have a solution in market until early 2019, but again, that's why we're doing this at the moment. Next slide. We're ranked well in terms of ICOs. Like most ICOs, we're at about, I think it's 46, 50 different ICO rating sites. Our rank goes from 7.8 up to 9.3. At the end of the day, we're generally averaging about 8 or 9. We've got a solid team, a real business, and we're one of the very few numbers of companies doing an ICO in here for a blockchain solution in HR. Next. Then we get to the ICO. Next slide, please. We have 1.2 billion tokens we're actually mining at the moment. Why 1.2? Why not 3? Why not 5 billion? Well, the reality is there's 3.5 billion working professionals in the world. We have a very limited number of tokens out there. Every time an employee or an individual puts information out there, they get some Peoplewave tokens. They have to spend them to actually do the Google for recruitment. On the other side of things, companies have to buy our tokens to access our Wavebase solution. So we believe 1.2 billion is probably not enough. Second, we're releasing 42% of our tokens for public sale. We've just closed off our pre-sale and closed 2 million USD worth of funds last week. Our public ICO starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the Cryptos Coin Exchange. We plan to raise the rest of our hard cap, which is $20 million, within 2 weeks. We have strong investment interest from pools, VC funds, and high net worth individuals. What else can I tell you there? Right now, it's the equivalent of US 10 cents. We are offering a very attractive bonus, which I'll talk to you about on the next slide. Next slide, please. So, very simple stuff. You guys know this if you're investors. We're on the Cryptos exchange. It's important that if you're not on Cryptos, go there now. Register. With luck, it takes about 4 hours to get KYC. If you're not lucky, 2 weeks. Do it as soon as possible. Put some crypto in your wallet as quickly as possible, and you can purchase our tokens from tomorrow onwards. Now, why tomorrow is really important is we're offering a very significant bonus. Next slide. In 24 hours, we're offering a 95% bonus. Why are we offering a 95% bonus? Because we don't particularly care about doing an ICO. We need the working capital because we're focused on purpose. To make work fair, putting people first. We need the money because we've got to go out there and make what we've just promised happen. On the first day, we're going to stimulate demand and we want to get as many tokens out in the market as possible. So, if you want to buy our tokens tomorrow, 95% bonus. If you talk to my team members up here, there's 4 of us up here, Eugene, Aruna, Mickey, and Michelle, we're up the back there, or over there, we will give you an additional 5% bonus. So if you buy tomorrow, 100% bonus. If you buy for the next week, you get an 80% bonus. But it will sell out quickly. We do have some tokens left as a pool for private sale, so we can talk about deals if you like. Moving to the next slide. That's it. We can open to questions if you like. Yes?
Hi, my name is Alina. I'm operations guiding your performance review.
Yes.
Do you track results based on your 1-year experience? Was the best people promoted regarding your tool, or was the worst fired?
I can only tell you anecdotally without giving too much away. Shorter answer is everyone's ranked. So you can see the best performer and the worst performer over a course of a month or an aggregated 12 months. What we've found is, in general, yes, depending on the level. So, of course, everything's calibrated to a level. So you can't automatically promote a VP. There's not enough spots. But if they're a junior level employee, generally, yes, they have. Promotion is less important. What we have found is there's a direct correlation to pay planning. So people are using the development and the performance data to use that for pay planning. And people performing well are getting higher pay. Yes. Yes.
Hi, Leroy. I was just wondering if the metrics for your system, do you guys set the parameters, or is it the companies who buy your system and they go in and set the parameters for performance?
Well, it brings 2 questions: customization and personalization. The core algorithm is set. The way people customize it, so putting more weightage on a particular set of things, changing people's individual scores and so on in terms of competencies and so on, is completely customized. So it's very customizable. We find large enterprises want to do a bit more customization. SMEs take the off-the-shelf solution. So can you repeat that? My what address? GitHub address. Okay. We don't have it here. It's very easy to find. I think it's usually GitHub/Peoplewave or Peoplewave HR. I can send it to you afterwards. Yes?
I think it's a fantastic product, especially about the aspect of making work fair. But when it comes to the actual usage of the token, when you have employees having to spend the token to actually bid and operate, doesn't that take away from the fair aspect of it a little bit? So whoever spends the most of the tokens will get a higher ranking and will have more chance of getting employed.
Yeah, to a certain extent. We're limited to 3 spots only. That's it. So it's exactly like Google AdWords works, which is, it doesn't mean just because what we do is we're focused on data and transparency. You can see the first result, you can see the 5th result, and you can have a look at both those people. We don't force anyone to give you these candidates, we just make them more visible. And often what tends to happen is the opposite happens. Someone who's very qualified is somehow not considered for a particular job. Maybe because they're not in the right industry, maybe they have the wrong manager, maybe there's something that's gone wrong in their career. So we're giving people the opportunity to get front and center in front of hiring managers. So we believe we're giving people a fair go. Yes?
Very interesting. But you mentioned that the tools you're going to enter the data are
Both, actually. Yes.
how does this make it work? Because all needs to go back home, right?
Yes.
So given that I put that blockchain on a system, how do I ensure that the employee that I'm going to still?
Well, sure is
Yes, and this is not actually your problem or a solution. This is what you see a lot in blockchain. How do you ensure that the data when you put it in the blockchain, the first that you enter it, is actually accurate?
Yes, you're right. Performance reviews are a mandatory process, and generally, if a company's doing it, it's accurate information. Not always, though. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. Anything that comes from Peoplewave software will always be automatically ported over to Wavebase. That is accurate, it's done automatically. Second, if you're using another system such as SuccessFactors or Workday and so on, we have a verification process back to the company. So an employee can take their own data and say, I got a 3 out of 5 or 70% in the last job. They can upload that data. There's a verification process that goes back to say, okay, is this the right data from this individual and is it correct, yes or no? So there's a mechanism if you upload third-party data, etc. And we're also pursuing partnerships with those guys as well. So there'll be, if we can announce those partnerships, just automatic APIs feeds from that company's solution if they're using Workday, SuccessFactors, banking, HR, etc. So our goal is not so much can we get accurate data, it's how can we get as many partnerships and verified APIs as possible. If that makes sense. Because the reality is, all data that any company puts into their corporate HR system is correct and verified at the point. Because it links to 2 mandatory processes, pay planning and promotions and succession planning. That data will not be wrong. Now, the employee always has the opportunity to kind of whistleblow or correct that data, so we can add back to it. So there's a process to say, look, the company screwed me over, put the wrong data in here, this is incorrect, and we're in the process of dealing with that. Yes?
Is it a SaaS model for 2 existing products?
Correct.
And what's the adoption like for the company? You mentioned you had a couple hundred?
400 customers at the moment. We sign up 1 to 7 customers a day. Weekends, about 1. Weekdays, between 5 and 6.
And I guess success is dependent on HR professionals within those organizations, pushing it out, getting the line managers to use the tools correctly, etc.
Exactly, yes. Any other questions? Perform their performance. Yes. Sure. I won't answer that correctly, but also in Singapore, people are fairer. They're going to give people roughly a 7 out of 10. If you're in Japan, people are giving each other 3s and 4s out of 10, and that is generally the standard. If you're in India, it's 10 out of 10. Indonesia, 10 out of 10, because no one wants to actually back up anyone else. We index against industry and country. So it's not so much was the raw data of that score good or bad, but it's more about, okay, if we've got a 4 out of 10 in Japan, how does that match my industry and the country ranges? So it all comes back to scale. So we're not competing against someone in the USA who's getting a 10 out of 10 with someone getting a 4 out of 10 in Japan. You have to actually go line for line. That's what we've tried to do. Yes. How's that? Sure, we can talk to you about offline about exactly how. It's a pretty technical answer, but what we're doing is smart contract is more, we take what we're coming out of this SaaS solution, moving into the blockchain, and the focus is the verification. Smart contract is more to the individual and the company. They work in two different ways. So I'll have to explain to you a little bit later how that works. Any final questions? That's it? Yes? Yes. It's a search field. So, for example, in the My Wavebase, which is a bit like a LinkedIn profile or CV, there's an indication of whether the person is passive or active. So, if you choose to look for active or passive or both, that's just another search field. You can exclude passive job seekers if you choose to. Completely up to you. Okay, looks like we're alright.
Thank you, Damien. Come on, let's show some appreciation. You gotta do like this draw now.
We have Jean Tan, who's the winner. Smartphone number starting with 9339.
Thank you. Just like the other winner was a pair of IMAX tickets.